G'day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Marvel Stadium for this round one clash between the Melbourne Renegades and the Perth Scorchers. I'm Blair Curtin, and with me in the commentary box this afternoon is the one, the only defending Premiership captain, Liam Ryan. Liam, how do you feel about today's game, and who do you think might take home the chocolates?
Oh, certainly a interesting matchup today. Round one, always exciting of a new season, new beginnings for both these teams. I really feel like the Scorchers are going to have the advantage on this deck today, even though the Renegades are at home. Could be an interesting one though.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there, as the Scorchers choose to bowl first, decide they want to chase it. They've had a couple of conversions in the team with Chance Bunce changing from being a leg spinner full time to being a batsman. Quite a few season one players there, so you'd think that would be advantage Scorchers. As the first ball comes in, Aaron White, wide Yorker, heads down to point, cover, and fielded well, but one run. Joey Kelly. Now he's a man with a cloud over his future in the league. Liam, how do you think he's going to hit out today?
Look, I think Joey Kelly's obviously a huge threat. Was that? No, it mustn't have carried. But he's obviously a huge threat for the Renegades and one of their big pieces in their batting lineup. I think that he'll do reasonably well as long as he can start the innings well based to Aaron White.
Yeah, absolutely. Bit of an interesting choice of deck here. You think that the heavy cracking will favour White and Mayava in particular, but a dry surface as well, which does suggest there should be something for the spinners too.
Yeah, you'd have to think that some of the Scorchers spinners are going to get involved in Tama Tut. I can't. Tut. I'm not even going to try.
Utafa?
Um, Tutafa. That's it. And they obviously did have Bunce and Mayava too. I believe she's a leg spinner. Uh, they might be able to get something out of this leg spinning deck.
Yeah, so it's an interesting combination there, of course. Tutafa and Mai. The left-hand, right-hand combination of leg spinners as that's full in at the stumps. And the Scorchers batsmen seeming to prefer playing it off the back foot for the moment. 3 runs off the first over as we see Vuvulenyawa enter the attack. A couple of tongue twisters in the Scorchers lineup today. It's fielded by short fine leg there. Bit of a stock ball to start with. Uh, interesting field here, but it doesn't matter too much as that's been edged back and Vuvulenyawa has the first wicket for the Scorchers in season 4. Tyreek Hamilton discusses it with Joey Kelly, but decides against reviewing, and you can see why as Carl pouches that beautifully. Liam.
Yeah, beautiful wicket from Tyree, from Tavita there. Obviously, getting the big wicket of Hamilton, and that's beautiful bowling to start from the Scorchers.
Absolutely. As one of the big movements of the season 3-4 off season comes to the crease now, Rohan Kaval coming through from the Brisbane Heat as they come back for a quick 2. And 10 balls down, 5 runs on the board, and a wicket back in the shed. Liam, you'd have to say the Scorchers are on top here early.
Yeah, they certainly are, Blair. It's not going that well for the Renegades at the moment, and as I say that, they hit a boundary, much needed.
First boundary of the innings for the Scorchers off the bat of Kaval. Very, very needed, as you do say, because they were starting to fall behind a bit there. As Pavliniawa pushed down through mid-wicket, will be fielded by Long On coming around to a sort of cow corner position. want to come in the over. Odd choice of ball there, but it works out for Vivilinhoa all right. As we see 7 off the over, but a wicket falls. Scorchers 1 for 10.
Good over there, I reckon, from Tavita to get the big wicket of Tyreek Hamilton. Although you'd argue that you would have wanted Joey Kelly out, but you'll take a wicket whenever you can.
Oh, absolutely. Tyreek Hamilton, of course, a bit of a strategic decision there from Renegades captain Hellier. Hoping that he could absorb some pressure early and them go on to build a big score. Unfortunately, that hasn't worked out today, but I'll be interested to see what happens if he gets a couple of goes at that job. As to Tafa, hit to the fence, off his first ball. You got it. And that's out. Clean bowled. Rohan Kaval back in the sheds for 11 from 5 balls. But geez, that is the most awkward bowling action in the world, wouldn't you have to say, Liam?
Yeah, I was just about to mention his bowling action, and I could tell you were too. It's very interesting, but obviously it's doing something to the batsman because he just got out the big wicket of Rohan Kowal.
Yeah, absolutely. And a very aggressive field to Jai McCartney early. And McCartney doesn't care. He sends it straight down through deep mid-wicket, where it will be fielded eventually. And that's a quick 2. You've got to say, with Hamilton and now Caval back in the sheds, McCartney really needs to stand up and make a score here, and so does Joey Kelly, as we see the reverse sweep. Deep forward square leg, not really in position to get around anywhere near that, as that goes through deep backward square for another 4 runs. Conventional wisdom would suggest, of course, that the left arm leg spinner should have the advantage against the left-handed batsman, but McCartney proving that wrong so far. It's fielded at a sort of deep mid-on. 11 from 5 balls, but 1 more wicket in the sheds. How does Tutafa really get this over on a winning foot here for the Scorchers?
You're going to have to... Oh, gets an edge there.
Edge, but
Yeah,
dropped.
good end of the over from Tutafa. It was a good overall, sending the big wicket of Rohan Kowal back to the sheds. This partnership, as you said, is going to be a big one. They're bringing back the big over of Tabeta here.
Yeah, Vivilinhoa, bit of a curious choice against... Oh, what was that in the field?
That's awful fielding. Daniel Hellier needs to get over to his mate and have a word about that fielding because that's just not on, really.
Yeah.
Wrong teams. Josh Pratlove, sorry.
Turned a single into a 4 there. Very disappointing. And sorry, that's actually a deep backward square. Of course, fielding positions reversed for the left-handed batsman. You'd have to say it's a man on both sweeps, though. So that's pretty good for the spinner. Lets him get it up, get it at that edging length without having to worry too much about getting belted for 4. As we know, the AI does love its cross-bat shots, as McCartney glances away and that protection at deep square leg comes into play. They do get back for 2, though.
Good running from the Renegades. Got to say that.
Absolutely, really good intent. Fielded there at short fine. Do you call that short fine leg, or do you call that a sort of fly leg slip? Very interesting little position there.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call it because it's not really close enough to be a fly slip, is it either? So it's
No,
maybe
but
short, fine leg.
you'd expect your short fine to be more on the sort of 35-yard ring as the over comes to an end. And we've seen a fair bit of bounce and carry in this pitch as well. Really comes up on the Hawkeye view.
Yeah, certainly does. I'm thinking it's taken LBW out of the play a bit, unless it's on that bit of a fuller length. Uh, but that pitch certainly does provide the bounce through the hardness of the pitch, because I believe it was a hard pitch that how you decided on.
Yep. And Joey Kelly might be back in the sheds here. And the umpire says that he will be. Big wicket for Tutafa. And one run from 8 balls for Joey Kelly as he debates the review, decides against it. And geez, that's a bit of a failure from the marquee signing.
Yeah, brilliant bowling from Tutafa there. Got the big wicket of Joey Kelly. And now the Renegades are in some deep, deep trouble. They are really just, Aaron here doesn't have that many SPL runs under his name. Yeah, they're really searching for some runs, although that's a great shot.
Absolutely. He gets a few runs very creatively there. Goes straight over long off and 4 runs to the board. So Tutafa, he does seem to grab a few wickets, but he also does seem to go for a few runs as well. 2 for 15 off 9 balls. Streaky, edged, fielded at fly slip. Ooh. That's a very risky single there from the Renegades, but they needed every run and every run counts. Brings McCartney back on strike for the last ball of Tutafa's spell. And we see this aggressive field again.
It's
And
too
Jai's...
aggressive of a field, isn't it, to John McCartney, who's already set. It's having that short man in, I feel like they're just asking to get hit, where you could have that short fielder out on the boundary somewhere. To John
Yeah,
McCartney, arguably the dangerous player on the Renegades.
yeah, I'd have to agree with that. And let's face it, he's not the kind of bloke who's going to be intimidated particularly easily, as Mayava brings some more pace into the attack. As O'Hare goes straight down the ground, straight over John Boy's head, and that's 4 runs. Bring 3 for 40 now, off 5 overs and a ball. You'd still have to say advantage Scorchers, but at this stage as well, Renegades are fighting their way back into this game.
Yeah, certainly. I definitely argue that Aaron O'Here's played well so far, but I wouldn't want to curse him considering everyone else I've cursed so far. But yeah, it's an impressive display so far season from the season 1, I'd like to say, that came back this season.
Okay, that'll be interesting to see what upgrades he got then if he spent a couple of seasons out. It's a very full ball from John Boy. Shout comes up, but I think it was edged. No review taken by the Scorchers. Short one, edged over the keeper's head, and that will be 4. The faster it goes in, the faster it comes back out.
Yeah, it was a bit of a streaky shot there from Aaron O'Here, but yeah, he certainly still got 4 runs all the same.
Yeah, use the pace of the ball wall there, actually. Realised that it was going to carry straight over the keeper's head. Ooh, John Boy's overstepped here. We're going to see a free hit. Bit too eager. And that means that they cannot change the field. What do we see from John Boyne here to defend the free hit?
Oh, to the field he's got maybe another short ball. He's got protection out there.
I think that I think that actually carried. And it's another overstep.
Oh,
Another overstep, and this is not what the Scorchers needed.
this is almost unheard of territory for the John Boy. Like, I don't think I've seen a bowler bowl 2 no balls on this game before, back to back.
Nope, and the free hit goes straight for 6. Well, that could have been a lot nastier, but geez, 2 no balls and a 6. Definitely not needed. 8 runs added to the board, only 1 ball ticked over. So John Boy tries to bring back this over. Stock ball fielded at point, but they will get another single. Renegades 3 for 53 after 6. Well, now you'd have to say advantage Renegades.
Yeah, that was an expensive over from John Boy Marava. Did not need those 2 no balls. Now the Renegades are really gaining from that over specifically.
And you got to wonder how things are going to go here with Mayava herself, of course. Bowling average of 200. You could call it the double Bradman. But probably not in a way that... Well, she's just cut it in half. Aaron O'Hare is gone. And I think that was caught by Snicko.
Yeah, great catch from Snicko or Ozim. I was about to say, My and John Boy might have swapped player gens. Mai's taken the wickets and John Boy's been the expensive one.
Oh, John Boy was always expensive, but Momo will be very, very happy with that wicket. And
Yeah,
it
she
is
certainly
Snicko
will
having
be.
taken the catch. 4 for 53 now. Kaya Foa, another rookie. I think he's about 9 overall across his batting stats. Or level 9 overall, I should probably say.
Well, that looks very adjacent if it hasn't.
Nah, it's taken bat.
Apparently not.
I mean, McCartney's got to step up here. But one thing that I
It's
noticed,
only
the Renegade...
faced.
Sorry, Matt.
He's only faced the 10 balls, John McCartney. They need to get him on strike, I reckon, which they have here.
Haven't done very well in this innings is rotate the strike. Because I'm pretty sure Jai was on 10 runs about the time that Joey Kelly got out. Then O'Hare had his little cameo, and McCartney barely faced a ball if he faced one at all. It's a short one from My. Gets punished. There's a man deep, but it's wide of him. One bouncing over the rope. Jai moves to 21 from 12 now. And if My keeps bowling on that length, she won't take too many more wickets.
Yeah, it was a great way to end the over from Jai McCartney. Not the best of bowling there from My, but still got to put them away. But you'd like to say that Kai Foller's got to get the strike moving here, give it to Jai McCartney if he can't hit boundaries.
Well, seems he might not be able to very well. There's one man outside the ring, rest of them crowding the bat. Again, a little bit of an odd field, a sort of short mid on and off. Before one comes in. That one does break through the ring though, and that will be 4 more added. Oh, no, it won't. It will be fielded, and it will only be 2. Great work out in the deep there to save 2 runs. But a forward does need to get a move on one way or the other. Not too much horror in the field today from the Scorchers so far, you'd have to say. I haven't seen any real errors. That ball's not great though. That will be called wide. And no more short stuff for the over. comes in on a length, driven by a Foa, however well fielded at cover. The ring field working out for the Scorchers so far. Second last ball of the over, edged, streaky, third man, or a very squarish third man fields it, and with just 2 overs left, McCartney only gets to face 1 ball in the over, which is, I think that did carry, but I also think it was dropped.
Down there, when it's poor fielding again. No backing up there.
That's extremely poor. A bit of a comedy of errors all around, I'd have to say, but it does mean that McCartney will be facing My from the first ball of this over, and I think he's going to look to go big here, and he does. It is straight over the fence, into the crowd. I think that's just taken out a Weber ad, as 6 more runs are added to the score.
6 of the very best there from Jai McCartney. 6 maximums.
Absolutely. With Mai's bowling stats, she might go for a few here. Edge does fall safe though. However, we've seen real intent here from McCartney. Something in the Brendan McCullum about him. And that's gone though. Too much aggression from Jai. Edges it, caught by Carl, and I think he might have been out of his crease as well. Mai gets her second wicket of the game. No dispute, no review. Edged and just absolutely pouched by Carl. Very, very big wicket back in the sheds now for the Renegades. Hell yeah comes in. Hell yeah is a dedicated bowler. This could really wrap up very cheaply now for the Renegades. Played by, and gone, first ball. Mai's on a hat-trick. Do we see the second SBL hat-trick from Mai Mayava, of all people, coming into this game with a bowling average of 200? It's a lot less now.
Well, as I was saying, Blair, earlier, have John Boy and Mai swap characters for a bit now.
Yeah, and there's more Mayavas in the action as that's one's being taken by Ian. Yeah, you might be right here. Daniel Hoyer not very happy. Trey Bonzacao, again, another bowler. This could really be over very quickly and very cheaply. Hat-trick ball from Mai. Falls safe. Fielded at backward square. 6 for 70. 7 balls left in the innings. Well, momentum's a funny thing, isn't it?
Yeah, sure is. I think KFO is going to have to try and face as many of these as he can. Try and get a single here. No, we'll just get a boundary. It's good enough.
Well, it's 4 more runs, but it does put pressure on TBK to get off strike early next over. And with John Boy Mayava bowling, I mean, all out is a definite possibility here.
Yeah, certainly. If he's got that wicket-taking ability, he might be able to wrap up all these bowlers here.
Well, played very well by Bonzacao, actually, and they do go back for the 2. Not sure what they were thinking there. You'd want Kaiafoa facing as many balls as possible this over, because you just don't know how well Bonzacao is going to hit any ball. I actually think he rode the short one pretty well there, Liam.
Yeah, he certainly did there. I reckon they maybe should have tried to hurry through for a single there, but weren't able to.
Yeah, do agree with you there. It was coming in pretty hot as we see the wide Yorker. And now we see John Boy tighten the screws.
Yeah, it's backfiring on them big time here. KFL could be on strike if they only took the one in the
Yeah,
first ball, but
and gone. Yeah, this is a great death over now from John Boy. 3 runs off it. Absolutely skittles TBK stumps. And out 7 for 76 with just 1 ball left in the batting innings for the Renegades. Do you think they can defend this? Oh, sorry, 2 balls left in the innings, but do you think they can defend this, Lamb?
76 on this deck, it does seem a bit challenging, but
And you wouldn't say it's undoable, to be honest. But yeah, they're going to need some great bowling from the likes of Hellier and TBK.
It definitely wouldn't have been with with the old Renegades lineup, but with the extra steel they've had added to their bowling, you have to consider the possibility. As there's the last ball of the over. Renegades 7 for 78. McCartney with the top score, and Aaron O'Hare with a very handy little 20. As we see the batsman come off. Anything aside from that particularly jump out at you, Liam?
Um, well, obviously for the bowlers, I would say are the only ones that I would really mention apart from John McCartney. Obviously Tutafa on his debut really bowled well, 2 for 20 off his 2 overs. And I thought that Tavita had a really good opening spell, 2 overs and took a wicket, I believe. It was like 1 for 14. Uh,
Bonzakar, who begins proceedings to Ian Mayava. I was actually really impressed by Aaron White. 2 overs, didn't get a wicket, but only 8 runs. And there's some overthrows. This is not what the Renegades needed. I got to say, I was very sad to lose Ian from the Sixers, but I'll be interested to see how he does here opening, because that's definitely not a way I ever considered playing him.
I thought Owen Mara was a number 3, was named at number 3. Must have been a late change.
Yeah, not sure what happened there, but definitely Snicko coming in at 3, away from his usual opening position. So perhaps the vice captain has decided he doesn't want to face the first ball of the innings. As Ian glances it away down the leg side, fielded at a squarish fine leg, and another 2 runs on the board. Trey Bonzakahu done well here to begin with. Let's see how he can finish out this over. Short one. Leg side again from Mayava. Fielded at wide mid off. Or wide mid on, I should say, sorry. And Tim James to face his first ball of the innings. On a length and fielded at short mid off.
Yeah, good over from Trayvon Sakahu to open the innings. Really what they need for the entire innings, to be honest. If they're not going to be economical, it's going to be over very quickly, particularly the Scorchers batting attack.
Yeah, agree with you completely there. As Corey Bell comes into the attack now. Interesting choice, the left arm leg spinner.
Saw a bit of turn on this deck for the score earlier. Could go well here.
Yeah, that's very true. Oh, not a great ball though, as we see another one of those funny little misfields and one bounce over the rope.
Yeah,
Pete
pretty
back.
poor fielding from that fielder down there. Yeah, what can you do about it though? Just one of those little glitches.
Yeah, deep backward square just seems to have lost it a little as it was coming in. As we see that leg glance again. And now they're into the game, and Ian Mayava is gone. 9 runs, 8 balls. Corey Bell's in the wickets.
Yeah, as I said, Corey Bell could be very dangerous here with his turn into the right hander of Mayava. Yeah, great delivery there from Corey Bell, and a great catch down the deep.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more. Trey Bonsco in the deep there, making up for his earlier mistake as Snicko Balbroa comes to the crease. One of the very dangerous Season 1 players in this Perth Scorchers lineup. How will he go here? Well, that was anticlimactic. Gets on top of the spin. As this one's very full, Snicko does punish it. No protection on the sweep. And that just goes straight into the rope. Another 4 runs. Corey is not looking happy.
Yeah, that ball is going to be a standard delivery. I think he'll be finding himself getting hit for 4 every ball. So that was just a full toss hit me.
Yeah. And Snicko can use the crease well, as we see him down on one knee, plays a sweep, and beats long on to the fence. 12 runs off the over from Corey so far, with 1 to come, I believe.
Yeah, it was a great shot from Snicko Balbroa there. Absolutely found the gap to perfection.
Do you think
Wasn't
he was
much
aiming
more he
for
could
it?
have. Oh, I don't know, but it certainly found that gap to perfection.
Yeah, well, that's true. 1 for 17 now from the Scorchers after 2 overs. Bonsakahu for his second over. The Renegades vice captain, and Tim James gets off the mark and does come back for 2, taking the throw on from deep square leg. What is that haircut, though?
Well, I don't know. What the hell is that from Trey Bonsakahu?
Glanced away again by Tim James. Kale has to run for it. Or Carl, I should say. He doesn't like it. Doesn't like it when I say Kale. TBK's been going at a run of ball so far. No wickets. Pitched his middle stump and glanced away again, but protection out in the deep. But Snicko and Tim James will come back for 2. As I'm not sure what we're seeing a replay of. And well played, but well fielded at short mid-off there. And we see another overstep. I don't think we've ever seen 3 no balls in an SPL game so far.
Yeah, I think this is a bit uncharacteristic of what we've seen in past seasons. Yeah, both teams have done it so far and might prove costly.
Yeah.
Not that
Well, they
time,
can't
though.
take advantage of the free hit, but I don't know, maybe he's spotted another no ball. No. Bonsakahu did keep his foot behind the line this time. 2 balls to come. Tim James facing. Outside off and fielded very, very nicely at point. I just think TBK's just not been on his line very well this over. He hasn't been punished much for it, but when the ball's been moving around, it's found gaps, and the Scorchers have found some easy runs.
Yeah, they aren't really restricting them at all to start this innings. Even though it's only, what's that, 7.5-ish and over so far. Um, it's still going to not be well enough for them to get over the line here. They need to restrict them early on the innings so they can push towards the back end.
Yeah, absolutely. And Bell does not help here. I mean, some of the field placements aren't helping them too much either. But yeah, the bowling lines just really aren't working out for the Renegades at this stage as Goya has a chat with his fellow leg spinner. Long on and a sort of deep cover back. And there's another wicket for Corey Bell. Clean bowl, Tim James. 8 runs on the board, 7 balls faced. Tim James back in the sheds.
Yeah, big wicket there from Corey Bell. Gets his second of the day. You got to say, that was a bit of a putrid shot from Tim James, but he finds himself back in the sheds now. Corey Bell
Yeah.
looking to take advantage here of Chance Bunce.
Well, Chance Bunce is a very dangerous batsman. I can tell you that from some experience. Decided that he wanted to move up the order. A very curious field here early on. As Carl fields that, and that was an impressive little flick of the ball at the stumps too.
Jai McCartney fielding that in the behind the stumps there.
Oh yeah, sorry. My apologies. I've got my teams mixed up now as well.
Don't worry, I did that too. Happens to the best of us.
I don't know, McCartney and Scorchers are just two names I've associated for so long, it's hard to imagine you playing them. The end of the over there.
Good over from Bell there.
Yeah, really pulled it in after that second ball. Got the wicket of Tim James, bringing Bunce to the crease. And Daniel Hurlier into the attack now. Starts outside off. Bunce plays down the ground. There's a man out there, but they can't take advantage. I think that was John Boy Mayava. Fell just short of him.
Yeah, a bit unlucky there from Daniel Hurlier. I thought for all money he had a wicket there. Unfortunately, didn't carry.
But I think that shows the intent of Bunce early. Definitely looking to play the big shots down the ground. Snicko a little bit more restrained at this stage. Edged, but McCartney doesn't get to it. And just the one run. Well, Hurlier could have 2 in the shed now, had things gone a little bit more fortunately for him. Not sure I love this field though. Is beats cow corner and rolls straight across the rope for 4. Chance Bunce.
Bunce just whacked that.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't call it a sweep, would you? It's just a slog.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. As Bunce goes big again. There is a man in the deep, but he won't get across. And John Boy, yes, that is. Wait, no, sorry, that's Bell. Ball beats him to the rope, and it's another 4 runs for the Scorchers. Really looking to accelerate here.
Yeah, they're looking for net run rate now, I reckon. 39, 31 required here. And there's a wicket, big wicket from Daniel.
Absolutely. Chance Bunce, 10 from 7. Good intent, but forgot that you need to actually stick around as well.
Yeah, 100%. He needed to stick around a little longer, help Snicko build the innings a little bit, and then they can accelerate towards the back end of the innings and boost their net run rate that way.
Yeah, absolutely. It is a small total to defend, but as Carl comes to the crease, we're halfway through the innings, and you'd have to say the Scorchers are halfway through the chase as Kai Rangahua enters the attack. Carl's edged that, but he's only edged it to his pads and has fallen safe. Bit of a half-hearted appeal there from the Scorchers, but unsurprisingly, the umpire says no. And I'm just not sure that this is a field to be bowling Yorkers too. The 2 men deep, you'd expect it a bit shorter as Balbroa goes down the ground now. Will that carry all the way? Yes, it will. It is into the crowd. I think that's been caught by a buckethead.
Yeah, Snicko Balbroa's hit that into about row G. Beautiful shot there from Snicko. No protection back there. It's just a great shot from Snicko.
Yeah, agreed. Snicko's driving. Looks like he'll be looking to drive a little bit more as the short one. It's wide, it's chased, and it's fielded there at a very square third man. I think Balbroa could have left that alone.
Yeah, that might have been caught a wide, I would have thought.
It did look a little bit outside the tram tracks. Fast, full, and at the stumps. Another appeal, but again, I'd say that's leading bat. Fielded there very nicely by square leg. And Rangahuna fighting back quite well in this over after the 6.
Yeah, Jack Carl's trying to build his innings a bit nicely here. Trying to get off strike.
Yeah, agreed. And that last one edged but does not carry, with Hell Yeah now bowling to Balbroa. Men on the sweep, but no one down the ground. And Snicko just chips that along to mid-on. Does Snicko launch here, or does he wait until the next over?
Oh, it's getting to about 8 and over at this point. But yeah, apparently he wants to whack now.
Yep, that one has been put back into the stands, looking to give the crowd a little bit more money for a caught 6. And that ball has absolutely flown off the bat. 116 metres according to the game. That seems a little bit optimistic as we see the sweep slog now. It's over cow corner. It's another 6, 2 in a row as Daniel moves to 1 for 22 off his 9 balls so far.
Yeah, Daniel's put it in the slot twice in a row, and he's paid the penalty both times.
Yeah, absolutely. And Hell Yeah's a high-rated bowler too. Yeah, he's no part-timer these days. As we see a 4 to go with that pair of 6s, 16 from 4 balls now. How does Daniel bring this back, Liam?
I do like that field somewhat from the game, having a few men more up, but still at the same time, they've got to have a few back to try and give Daniel protection. Yeah, I think that he's going to have to bowl a bit shorter, try and entice him to come out of his crease.
Well, he's successfully done that there, and it has been fielded in the ring. But if Snicko really chose to go aerial there, you got to feel that nobody would have stopped it.
Yeah, absolutely no one back with this field. All he has to do is get it over the infield here, and it's 4 or 6 probably.
Absolutely. Daniel does push him back, though, to end that over, and what could have been a really ugly over instead only goes for 16 as Vakateni, right arm finger spinner, enters the attack. Presumably, this is the 8th over, so presumably Vakateni gets the 10th as well.
If that's required.
Well, that's a valid point. Required run rate is now under 6, as we see it at 15 runs required from 17 balls now. Something interesting about Cricket 24, Liam, is that every off spinner does get a doosra, making them much, much more potentially damaging.
Yeah, he might get the special ball, the deucerer to Snicko, which might undo him. But it's the way Snicko's going, he might even hit that for 6.
Yeah, he's been very aggressive as it goes through a vacant deep gully region, and it's another 4 added to the total. Picked the gap beautifully there, you got to say.
Yeah, it was a great shot from Snicko. Probably a bit short there, allowed him to cut too easily. Yeah, still a great shot to find the gap.
Down the pitch now, cuts again though, aggressive, uppish, and another 4.
This is just smart batting from Snicko Balgrower. Gets down the pitch, hits it over where there's no one in the deep, and putting the run rate to something very, very manageable now. Looking to go finishes this over, I reckon.
Wouldn't surprise me, as rides his luck a little bit there though, and I think that will finish this over out of the equation. Jack Carl probably just bats it down and adds a little not out to pad the batting average a little, you think?
Yeah, maybe he just looks for a single here.
Oh, surely he keeps Nico on strike. That
And
was
you can't
entirely
do that.
unnecessary from Vakateni. Line completely wrong there. Pitch outside of the tram tracks and unsurprisingly called wide by the umpire. Very negative play. Carl gets aggressive and inventive and adds 4 to the total. 3 for 78 now. Now, Snicko on 44. Does he go aerial?
Do you look for a 6 to get his 50 here?
Yeah, I'm just wondering that myself. It'd come up off about 23. There's Rangahuna to bowl the 9th over. 50 through 23 not out for Snicko. To Yorker, it won't be 6, but it will be 4, and that is a huge innings from Snicko to win the game for the Perth Scorchers with 11 balls to spare.
Yeah, great innings from Snicko Balborough. Controlled that to perfection and leads them to a huge win over the Melbourne Renegades. That total was always going to be too low from the Renegades, and they just weren't able to defend it.
Yeah, agreed completely. Wide in my mind, the pick of the bowlers for the Scorchers. And then from the batsmen, you really can't go past Snicko. 48 from 23. He was one of only 2 to enter double digits. And hell yeah, went for some runs. Fakateni went for some runs. Corey Bell did very well in the end, you got to say. 2 for 17 off his 2 overs. And Bonsakahu, economical but unrewarded.
Yeah, certainly. There was some great bowling from some of the Renegades bowlers, but I think a few of them were just way too expensive for that total to get them a win there. You can't be going for an ink over 10 over if the other team's only chasing 80 odd.
Yeah, couldn't agree with you more, Liam. I do believe that's all we have time for this evening. So thanks very much for joining us, and we'll catch you next week.